This is Stan Gutoski up in Tacoma.
Well, for God's sake, hello, where are you?
I'm up in Tacoma.
Oh.
I need a favor. I need an address out of one of the Frisco papers that only you people can provide me with.
Out of the San Francisco paper?
Right. I'm trying to get tickets for something, and they're selling them by mail only. Jan and I hope to come down to California for a few days in February. Okay, there's a singing artist we like called Bob Dylan. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah.
And anyway, Bob Dylan's doing concert tours.
She speaks like silence, but that unusual violence doesn't have to say she's faithful, yet she's true like ice, like fire. People carry bruises, make promises by the hour. My love, she laughs like the flower.
My name's Stan Gutoski. I was born in Tacoma, Washington. The first concert I ever taped was in '72. It sounds like I'm in on the ground floor, but I was born in 1945. Mom always said I was a late bloomer, so. I'm a taper. Many of my tapes I've never listened to. I feel like I'm documenting something. I'm not sure what it is necessarily. I used to go up to the Paramount, and when it was festival seating, the front row of the balcony, you could look and there'd be 4 people sitting here and a single seat and 3 here and what have you. And you'd think, oh, their friend is up getting popcorn or something. No. And you would go and ask if anybody's sitting here, and 4 out of 5 times, no. So I was by myself, committee of one, supposed to get things done. So I would sit and then be taping there, we're talking cassette. And it was, I don't know why, but I pride myself a little on the fact that I would be able to tape a show, flip a cassette, the person to the left of me and the other person to the right of me didn't know I was taping. I was taking an English course out at Tacoma Community College, Harvard to the West, and I had an English teacher named Paul Klee. And he brought some sheets stapled together of poems by the artist, and he also brought a tape recorder, and he had us listen to like Robert Frost. So about 3 pages in, I see, my love, she speaks like silence. I'm like, wow. So I have an album, Sebastian Cabot reads Bob Dylan, and so that's what I think was gonna, but when it, lo and behold, when it came time for that, it's Bob Dylan singing. So after the class, I lingered, and then I told him that I was kind of impressed that he considered Dylan a poet, in with Robert Frost and some of the others. And he said, oh yeah. And he says, by the way, there's a new Dylan album out, according to one of my students. And I said, well, I'm not aware of. He says, yeah, it's down by the Woolworths store, the used bookstore next to it. This student of mine bought it there. So after class, I went down there, and there's a picture from Nashville skyline, and then there's a newspaper article, scotch taped to the window next to it, saying, describing the album, and it's from a publication I'd never heard of called Rolling Stone. And then down below that, in the windowsill, was probably 10 or 12 Great White Wonders. So I went in and bought one, and I got home and was listening to it, and I felt lucky. Then KOL FM in Seattle on Tuesdays was new album day. My wife and I would listen, and they were playing songs from Steelin' and John Birch Society Blues, and this is stuff that obviously wasn't on the Great White Wonder, and again I was impressed. And they said you can get these albums in the U District, and they didn't name the store. And I wasn't even sure where the U District was, but I figured since it was Seattle, we were talking UW. So I went and ended up at Campus Music and met a guy named Hal there. And I came in, and there's a wire record rack, and it had a couple Beatles boots and Steelan and John Birch Society Blues and what have you. And so I picked up those. I bought Liver Than You'll Ever Be on the Lurch label, I think, and then get back to Toronto. So that's how things started rolling for me. The first time I saw Bob Dylan was in 1974. He did 2 shows in Seattle on a Saturday, and he was doing 2 more in Oakland, California on a Monday. And we went to the 4, my wife and I, and another taper named Jeff Allen, who's kind of below the radar, joined us at the Oakland show. And then he took our equipment, which at the time was a cassette recorder, and he went down and did the 3 LA shows. So that gave us the whole West Coast, which was kind of a good spot to be in for trading. So I ran an ad in Rolling Stone, Dylan tapes, trade only, copy of yours for a copy of ours. During the West Coast part of the 74 tour, there was a gas embargo going on, and depending on what state you lived in, you could, if it was an odd day, you had license plate had to end an odd number to get gas, limit of 5 gallons. Oregon had a gasless Sunday. You could not, it was illegal to sell gas on Sunday. So to get to Oakland, we had to get through Oregon. So we had a Toyota station wagon, and I think we loaded it up with 4 or 5 5-gallon cans full of gasoline. I would never do it again. But anyway, and that's how we made it to Oakland, the Oakland shows. I know a lot of people think, well, you're ripping off the artist. You're taking something from him that he wasn't meant to give to you, or somehow he or she is going to lose money. I guess they're worried about people getting rich off of taping concerts, but people that tape concerts don't make money. I would make the argument that most anybody that has a Bob Dylan bootleg has every Bob Dylan album anyways. Also, how many years did we have to wait to hear the Beatles live? So it's kind of filling a void there of what the record labels aren't doing, in my opinion. So I'm getting things that you don't get on LPs. There's songs you can't get anywhere else, stories behind the songs. Sometimes there's a little element of you're getting away with something you shouldn't be, but my joke would be I have an honest face, but no. Again, it's the fact that I was born in 45, my age was working for me. The fact that I would get a haircut before I went to a concert, wore a shirt with collar, snap-on tie, looked good. The Tandberg has a shoulder strap, and I would put it on over my shoulder, obviously, and then I had a kind of a windbreaker thing that I'd wear on top of it, so it didn't really jump out at you going in. And as soon as I got through the door, I would go to a policeman, and I would tell him, I've got my equipment if you need to check it. And they would usually say, do you have any glass? And I'd say no, and that was it. It was my joke at the time, you could have taken a wheelbarrow of equipment through. I felt like I was documenting something, and I just felt lucky to be where I was. It was a good time in my life in that I got a new Dylan album, double disc, and I had a new bride, and I still have both.
Every
What'd you guys think of the concert?
That was good. Did you like it?
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you very much.